Hello and warm welcome to Kogi InFocus, a 7-day review of happenings in and around Kogi, the confluent state of Nigeria. I'm Khadijat Mohammed. In today's edition, Kogi State Government directs ministries, departments and agencies to henceforth print all government documents at the government printing press in Lokoja or face sanctions. Kogi State NGO calls for quick passage of VAT bill to law. Command Army Records celebrates West African social activities in Lokoja, and from the street, reactions trail coronavirus confirmed case in Nigeria. This and many more when we return. Don't go away.
Hello everyone, they call me Juma B, a songwriter, a musician and an entrepreneur. And I am what I am today because I didn't give myself to drug abuse. You too, you're watching me right now, can actually be great if you don't get used to drug addiction. Say no to drugs completely. It kills, it destroys, and it ruins. On this note, I am in full support of the Kogi State Ministry of Information and the NDLEA against drug usage and abuse. If we hear anything, we can speak for pidgin. We go blow your whistle. You hear me now?
Welcome back. Resident engineers in the State Ministry of Works and Housing have been charged to be committed to their work in order to enhance job performance and service delivery on target. The Commissioner of Works and Housing, Abubakar Ohere, gave this charge recently in Lokoja during an interaction session with resident engineers in the ministry. While speaking on the need to rededicate themselves for effective service delivery, he pointed that there is an urgent need for everyone to work in order to justify the passion of Governor Yahaya Bello on both human and physical infrastructure development in the state. Ohere further disclosed that all they need is workforce and maximum staff cooperation, adding that if the governor could tour round the state capital for the sake of people's welfare and declared Operation Zero Pothole, it is therefore expedient that all hands must be on deck for an applauding output. He charged the engineers that in this drive, no impediment can be factored enough to frustrate them. Commissioner said the ministry is endowed enough with human resources and good brains that could surmount all intending challenges. Revealing more of his plan, the commissioner assured the staff that he would do all his best to mobilize all the staff in order to put in their best in moving the ministry forward. He directed senior engineer to mobilize all the resident engineers in the ministry to passionately join the Operation Zero Pothole drive of the governor, adding that submission of reports on their various sites of supervision is required. Ministries, departments and agencies in Kogi State have been directed to henceforth print all government documents at the government printing press in Lokoja or face sanctions. Kogi State Commissioner of Information and Communication Strategy, Kingsley Fawo, said it is no longer permissible for MDAs in the state to seek government approval to do their printing job elsewhere. Fawo, who paid a working visit to the state printing press with top management team of the state information sector, said there must be total compliance to the directive from the State Executive Council. While stressing the need for better repositioning of the state press to function optimally, the commissioner said bottlenecks will be removed for enhanced profitability of the investment. He also said his ministry would adopt more effective management strategies to attract profitable jobs. The Kogi State House of Assembly has been urged to waste no time in passing the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Bill into law. The call was made by a non-governmental organization, Challenge Parenthood Initiative, in collaboration with other national and international bodies at a media roundtable in Lokoja. They also call on the state executive and the judiciary to also support the bill, which has scaled the first and second reading.
Available statistics and reports from the Challenge Parenthood Initiative (CPI) show that violence was recorded in major places across Kogi West and East during the November 2019 governorship election, with a number of deaths and injured persons. It, however, said Kogi Central was largely violence-free. The CPI, however, concerned that many affected persons will not get justice as their cases are not captured in the existing law against violence on persons. The proposed bill in 6 parts and 48 sections, when passed into law, will address a wide range of issues from an incitement of violence through destruction of political campaign material to harmful traditional practices such as female genital mutilation. All the benefits of the proposed law were highlighted.
It's a good law that if passed, it will cure the menace that have not been provided for in the other body laws, criminal body laws. I'm not a Kogite and you reside here and suffer such thing in Kogi State. This law covers you.
The National Orientation Agency, journalist unions, and the National Democratic Institute were represented at the roundtable and pledged their support for the bill.
Either we are victims, our wives are victims, or our children are victims of violence. So if anybody is doing anything to ensure that we have a very peaceful society, that person is directly or indirectly helping us to live well. So I want to assure you and pledge the support of our members to ensure that you achieve your desired goal.
NAWOJ, Nigerian Association of Women Journalists, will always work in partnership with them so that we can ensure that at the end of the day, the bill is passed.
The issue of violence is one that is not only applicable to women, it is something that affects everybody, and we all know that currently we are bearing that burden in our country, Nigeria, and also in Kogi, as recent reports have shown. Not that it will eradicate it totally, but when we have a law and we have appropriate authorities and implementing this law, then it will be a deterrent to perpetrators and will be perpetrators that it will not be business as usual.
I promise that the agency will do its best to ensure that this bill is given the required support and it gets the required success.
The founder, Challenged Parenthood Initiative, Eunice Agbogu, called on all stakeholders involved in the process of passing the bill to law to speed up the process.
So we are actually soliciting that the assembly members will ensure that it passes smoothly and it is passed into law, and the executive governor of Kogi State, because we also know that he is concerned about the issues of violence in Kogi State as well as the protection of the citizens of Kogi State, that he also ensure that it is assented into law.
Violence Against Prohibition Bill was introduced on the floor of the Kogi State House of Assembly in December 3, 2019 and scaled through second reading February 19, 2020. Recent developments in the state and the views of many at this round table suggest that the bill's passage is long overdue.
Nigeria's confluent state, the country's melting pot, where almost anything and everything can happen. From the governor to the farmer, from politics to entertainment, from the economy to sports and tourism. We've got you covered on these and a whole lot more on Kogi InFocus. Kogi InFocus, a weekly review of development in and around Kogi State. Stay abreast with what you need to know on Kogi InFocus on your channel of choice, Africa Independent Television. Kogi InFocus, reaching everywhere, informing everybody.
Contractors handling Kogi State Sustainable Development Goals Project (SDGs) have been directed to return to site. The call was made by the senior advisor to the governor on SDGs, Nasir Issa Ohiani, at a meeting with indigenous contractors and other stakeholders in Lokoja. Ohiani said the call had become necessary due to the state government's insistence on competence, diligence, and professionalism. He stressed the need for them to adhere strictly to specifications. He cautioned them against shoddy execution of jobs, warning that contractors found wanting will be blacklisted and their contracts will be revoked. He assured the contractors that the state government is sensitive to their plight, stressing that measures are being put in place to ensure they get paid. If you're just joining us, this is Kogi InFocus. For your sponsorship and advert placement, contribution, or sharing of information. You can reach us via phone numbers and social media platforms displayed on your screen. The Commissioner of Environment, Victor Adewale Omofaye, says the present administration of Governor Yahya Bello will witness a massive positive turnaround in environmental hygiene, sanitation, and general well-being. The Commissioner made the commitment when he received the Managing Director of Waste Management Company, Editin Global Services, Augustus Jide Nwoke, in his office in Lokoja. Omofaye, who expressed delight with the proposal submitted by the company, commended them for their doggedness in keeping the environment clean. The Managing Director of the Sanitation outfit highlighted other areas of interest, including the use of solid waste to generate electricity, produce fertilizers, recycling of plastics and polythenes, and the export of converted waste. Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development Idris Musa met with top management staff, coaches and secretaries of the various sport associations in the state to discuss the forthcoming National Sports Festival tagged Edo 2020. The Commissioner assured the coaches and secretaries of a good working relationship with Ministry of Youth and Sports Development, saying the Sports Council is the only parastatal under the Ministry of Youth and Sport. He promised the state government will ensure everything needed for a successful outing by the state contingent is provided. The Kogi State Director of Sports Council, Sunday Dako, promised not to let the state down at the festival and pleaded for the prompt release of funds to enable the immediate takeoff of the closed campaign system for the participating athletes. Sunday Dako also appealed to the state government to reward athletes who have won laureates for the state in the last 4 years, saying it will serve as a source of encouragement to future representatives of the state. The Kogi State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Wemi Jones, has assured the National Mathematical Center, NMC Abuja, of effective collaboration from the state government to improve student performance in mathematics. The Commissioner made the promise when a team from the National Mathematical Center, NMC Abuja, paid him a courtesy visit in his office in Lokoja to acquaint him with the activities of the center in the state. Jones said he was impressed by the state student performance in mathematics competition shown to him, adding that this was an indication of better days ahead for education in Kogi State. The Commissioner, however, noted that the 25 schools benefiting from the MIP in Kogi State was inadequate, considering the number of schools in the state, which stand at 283. He therefore expressed the state government's desire to ensure that more Kogi State schools benefited from the project. It was fun all the way at the Army Command Records premises in Lokoja as officers, men and the general public came together to celebrate the Army's 2019 West African Social Activities Year. The Command Army Records used the opportunity to appreciate the efforts of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuko Buratai, for his support to the command.
The 2019 Army West African Social Activities was well attended by a mixture of various security agents, government officials and the general public. The event gave the opportunity officers and men of the Nigerian Army to celebrate their achievements during the year through the display of various cultural dances. The age-long game of tug of war was also part of the activities. The Secretary to the State Government, Ayuade Folashade, who represented Governor Yahya Bello at the event, used the opportunity to commend the Army's efforts at providing security and pledged the state government's continued support.
The state government is telling every Kogite that we are all one. There is no Okun, there is no Ebira, there is no Igala. We are all one. It is Kogi first before where we come from. When we come together as one, we will achieve a lot. in developing Kogi State. The state government is always ready to assist in any way to get our people secured.
The Army Records Commander, Major General Olufumilola Oshuleye, who commended the Kogi State government for its support, promised not to relent in their efforts at keeping the state secure.
We expect that we should improve on the achievements of 2019. Our ideal is to keep improving in all the professionalism, in our support to the civil authority, in protecting lives and property across the country.
He also had kind words for the Chief of Army Staff, Tokor Pertai.
I wish to express our sincere gratitude to the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General T.Y. Buratai, for his immense support to this command. We assure him of our commitment to work harder to attain greater heights in our primary mandate of managing records of Nigerian Army personnel, as well as the task of maintaining security in Kogi State.
The West African Social Games was first celebrated when victorious soldiers of the Royal Western African Frontiers returned from the Cameroon campaign, which took place during the First World War between 1914 and 1918. It became an annual event first established and handed over by British military to West African colonialists to mark the community year official work and activities.
The Kogi State Ministry of Transport has agreed to collaborate with the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria on providing water transportation. The Commissioner for Transport, Joseph Okoli, made this known to journalists in Lokoja through a press release. The statement followed the visit of the Maritime Workers Union to the Commissioner, Joseph Okoli. Okoli said in a statement that the state has everything it takes to turn the water sector around to boost the economy of the state, especially those in the coastal line across the 9 local government areas in the state. He stressed on the need for aggressive sensitization on the ministry's move to open the water shuttles and that government is engaging in effective planning to make it a reality. The chairman of Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, Kogi State Chapter, Abdullahi Bala, said, the union is fully prepared to complement government's effort towards ensuring that water transportation is operational in the state. He expressed worry on non-usage of water transport system. Bala said if water transportation becomes fully operational, it will become a major revenue booster in the state. The chairman promised that the union will work hand in hand with the ministry to achieve its aim. Coronavirus has ravaged the country China and some other nations. And just last week, Nigeria recorded its first case. People are beginning to panic with what will happen if adequate precaution is not taken. To this end, we took the issue to the people on the streets. Let us hear from them.
Even before we had the issue of coronavirus, we are advised right from our primary school that each time you go out, you come back home, you wash your hand before doing anything with your arms. And by the time you shake 1 or 2 people, you shouldn't use your hand to rub your face or put it in your mouth, so that since the disease is contactable, the person you shake might have the disease in his system, and when you put your hand in your mouth, you might contact it. That's why it's advisable for you to wash your hand before doing everything. The advice I have for government, particularly my state, is to have a quarantine center, so that should in case, we don't pray for it, should in case it happen, the patient should be taken to the center straight, not until happen before we start searching. Although we never notice it in our state, and by the grace of God, we will not see the coronavirus disease in our state.
Even we in churches, we are trying to tell people how to keep their environment healthy and wash their hands before eating. So we are trying to do that and to even inform them more.
What I want the government to do is to get to a precaution measure That way, if there is anywhere they heard about it or in any state, if they can at least know what to do about it so that it will not get to Kogi State or get to other states in Nigeria. In case of maybe others crossing the border, or if they know that, okay, this person is having it, they will know the measure that they will do, either to make the person to stay in one place and look for a treatment that way, so that it will not spread to other places. The advice I want to give to my people is to pray hard, because even the Bible said that He will take disease out from among us, so that God will help us. It's only God that will intervene on these cases of all this virus. It's only God intervention that we need in Nigeria.
I've heard it's a deadly disease and it's contactable. So the precautions I take is drink much water. That means stay hydrated. The advice I have for the government is, it's a deadly disease and it spread easily. So there are certain measures, like, let's say, they should create more awareness, because some people don't really know what coronavirus is. So if they create awareness, it will not spread that much again.
Hello everyone, they call me Juma B, a songwriter, a musician, and an entrepreneur. And I am what I am today because I didn't give myself to drug abuse. You too, you're watching me right now, can actually be great if you don't get used to drug addiction. Say no to drugs completely. It kills, it destroys, and it ruins. On this note, I am in full support of the Kogi State Ministry of Information and the NDLEA against drug usage and abuse. If we hear anything, we can speak for pidgin. We go blow your whistle. You hear me now?
And this is where we'll draw the curtain on today's package. Keep a date with us on this same station, same time next week. Keep doing to others what you want them to do to you. I am Khadijat Mohammed. Goodbye.